What's up, guys? This is Harp with Harp's Corner. Today, we're going to talk about some taming. We're going to talk about taming a Pteranodon. This is going to be the start of a playlist. We're going to go through a lot of the different creatures in the Ark universe, show you methods of taming, abilities that the creature may have, pros and cons. We figured we'd start it with something easy. Pteranodon, the Pteranodon, or the more aptly named winged flap. Alright, I made the last one up. The Pteranodon, you pretty much see this guy everywhere. Even if you just started playing Ark, you have probably seen this little guy flying around. You're pretty much going to see these guys in the wooded areas, jungle areas, and even on the beaches kind of floating around. They're a pretty common sight on about any map that incorporates flyers into them. And a lot of times these guys are considered a very starter type of bird. So right away we're going to talk about some pros and cons, and then also get into how to tame these guys. I'm going to start with the cons first. The cons are kind of outweigh the pros here. So the cons of this guy: stamina is not great, weight is not great, health is not great, and the melee damage is not great at all either. Getting all of that out of the way, it does have some very specific abilities and pros to bring to the table. One, it's easy to tame. For a beginning starting flyer, for a starting player on a starting map, the Pteranodon is one of the first flyers you're probably ever going to get. He works really well as a scout. He's very fast, and he's very maneuverable. These guys turn quick. They're speedy, and while they drain through their stamina fairly quickly, they get it back fairly quickly too. Chalk that up with the fact that this guy is super easy to tame. It makes it a pretty go-to thing as far as taming animals when you're brand new on a map. Even later on, these guys work as really good scouts, especially in a PvP area where speed, maneuverability, and size also play a factor. It's a lot easier to hide one of these guys than it is something bigger than it. They're not particularly fighters, but with Ark breeding and Ark mutations, you can definitely get their health and melee up a bit better. But primarily, that's what you're looking at: a scouting bird that's really going to help you find your first real base location in the Ark universe, depending on the map that you're playing on. Special abilities. Now, there's really only one, and that's this. The Pteranodons do a barrel roll. Barrel roll does increase damage when you hit things, and also speeds him up in the process a little bit. Now, there's a cooldown that's not actually shown on here, but it's about 5 to 6 seconds between the barrel rolls. The other thing to note about that barrel roll is while it does pick up my speed quite a bit for that split second, it drains the stamina down really bad. So speed, maneuverability, and these barrel rolls are what you're looking at. You're going to want a Pteranodon with quite a lot of stamina, which also makes these birds a kind of like an oh crap moment type of animal. I like having one of them at my base. Let's say I'm out and about doing what I'm doing, and I die, and I'm trying to get back to my bag quick. I spawn back at my base. Having one of these guys around is very convenient because I can get to that location fairly quickly. I usually keep one around the base to level nothing but its stamina up and just use it as a means to get from point A to point B very quickly. And these are the stats on it. This is only a level 32. I just kind of roamed around and found one and tamed him. But taming these guys is fairly simple. The thing to remember is that they do not have a lot of health. So you don't want to shoot them in the head. You don't want to use something with a lot of damage. Primarily, your go-to weapon of choice is going to be bolas. You're going to use bolas to knock these guys down, to keep them trapped long enough to use your knockout method. Early on in the game, you can use a wooden club, things like that, to knock it out. Just pay attention that you're not hitting it too much and that your melee damage isn't too high, or you're just going to kill them outright. The slingshot is actually another really good option. Early on in the game, it's very accessible, and it's pretty effective, especially on lower level Pteranodons. You can use things like crossbows, but make sure when you do use crossbows that you're shooting body shots on these guys, because if you shoot them in the head, you're most likely going to kill them. The other obvious method is, if you're more advanced in the technology tree, is to use tranquilizer darts. Those don't do very much damage at all, and they do a heck of a lot of torpor damage, and they'll take them down fairly quickly. Really, the only danger to taming these guys is taming it on the ground and making sure nothing is going to attack it while it's taming. As far as diet goes, the Pteranodon pretty much eats what most of the flyers in the Ark universe eat, and that's meat. Obviously, the better quality meat, the better taming effectiveness you're going to get. And if you're looking for a kibble solution, these guys eat regular kibble. The Pteranodon's saddle is opened up at level 38, which makes it one of the first flying saddles you're going to have access to. Again, making these guys very crucial to new Ark survivors on new maps where you need to get airborne quickly. The Pteranodon has its place. I'm a firm believer that every creature in the Ark universe does, but it is quite limited. You do tend to grow out of these fairly quickly, but I think having one around at all times is a pretty smart idea. But that's it, guys. I wanted to do a quick video. We wanted to start doing some taming videos, creatures, and how they work, and the ins and outs of them and how they work. Let me know what you think. Please like, please subscribe, throw me a comment down there, let me know what you think. And also comment with some creatures that you might want to see, different taming strategies done on, and maybe our own little video. That's it, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Until next time.